The question is, identify the image given below used to retrieve broken instruments. Okay, so they have already given you the hint that the instrument that is given over here in the image is used to retrieve fragments or instruments that are broken. So usually there are two sets of instruments that can be broken. In oral surgery, you don't have much more, a lot of instrument breakage problems. You have a lot of needle breakage problems. Whereas in perio as well as in endo, you have instruments that can be broken easily, and you need to retrieve them because they're going to be posing unnecessary health hazards, because any instrument that is broken is going to be ultimately rejected by the body. Okay, so if you look at the image over here, they look like uh, instruments that can be used to retrieve, as in the shape. If you look at the working end shape, these instruments cannot be used in order to remove files. Why? Simply because files are removed using smaller ultrasonic instruments. So that is not the answer to the question over here. So you know for a fact that it is not something endo related. It is something going to be periodontology related. In addition to that, they have also given you four options, and all four options are revolving around periodontology. So you will have to stick to perio. Now the options over here are Schwartz periotriever, Gracie curettes, sickle scaler, and neighbor's probe. Okay, so neighbor's probe, as you know, is an instrument that is used to measure percussion, and it measures the horizontal component, not the vertical component of the percussion involvement. It measures the horizontal component. What do you mean by this horizontal component is, when I have, this is the crown of my tooth, and this is the root, and this is the percussion, my neighbor's probe is going to basically go in this region like a hook. Okay, so if that hook is, if it is able to go inside, that means there is percussion involvement. So that is how you measure neighbor, that is why you measure the horizontal, because you are placing the instrument horizontally, not vertically, to measure something like a pocket. Okay, now the second option is, so Gracie neighbor's probe is completely out because it is primarily used to measure the percussion involvement. So this is out. Second is a sickle scaler. A sickle scaler, the only primary use of a sickle scaler is nothing but scaling and root planing, rather only scaling. So you are going to be using a sickle scaler only to remove the calculus supragingival or subgingival calculus which is going to be present. Primarily supragingival, subgingival are removed through curettes. So you are going to be using a sickle scaler primarily only to remove the supragingival calculus. And as you know, the cross section of a sickle scaler is somewhat like this, where, rather, I'll give you a better image if I can. Yes, see this. This is the sickle scaler, where it is shaped like a sickle. What is a sickle? A sickle is basically used to remove dirt. It is basically, when you are farming, people who farm, they would know this, that when you, or who have seen farmers, they would understand this better. You actually dig through the ground, or you create holes in the ground, and then you are removing that much amount of sand from the earth. So that is what is a sickle scale, a sickle. So a sickle scaler also has a similar function. It is shaped like a sickle, and it helps to remove the calculus by creating puncturing holes and at the same time removing it. That is the action of a sickle scaler. So this is how the sickle scaler looks. The third one in the OPSO, as you know, again sickle scaler is ruled out. Third one is a Gracie curette. Curettes are, there are two types. One, you have universal curettes, and then you have Gracie curettes. Gracie curettes are also called as area specific curettes. You need to know a little more in depth about Gracie curettes, because this is something that has been continuously been asked in AIMS in the past INI-CET exams. They have been continuously asking a lot about Gracie curettes. So you need to know about Gracie curettes. So Gracie curettes are basically, they are done. They have two functions. One is curettage of the gingival tissue, and two is root planing and removal of subgingival calculus. So what happens is, these Gracie curettes, they have an end, which basically what happens is, sorry, uh, yeah. So if you look at this image, so how, as you can see, it has an offset blade. So what exactly you do with a Gracie curette is, you place the instrument has to be, as in the working end of the instrument, that is your cutting edge should be parallel to the long axis of the tooth. And then what you do is, after placing it in the sulcus, you start scraping in a filing action. You start bringing the instrument outside the sulcus. So what does this do is, primarily it first helps to remove whatever gingival granulation tissue is there, that is removed. And in addition to that, when you place it towards the root surface, this is when it is towards the pocket line. When it is placed towards the tooth surface, what happens is it ends up causing root cleaning as well as removing whatever subgingival calculus is present. And that is why you need to, these instruments are used for root planing, removal of subgingival calculus, as well as removal of granulation tissue from the gingival sulcus. Now, coming to, so again, Gracie curettis out. Last are Schwartz periotrevers. From the name itself, periotriever, that means it is used to retrieve periodontal instruments, broken periodontal instruments. So they are, that is why they are called as Schwartz periotrevers. This instrument over here, the answer to the question is actually this only, where it is called as a Schwartz periotriever. So what these instruments do is, these instruments, they have a magnetic component. So you take the instrument, you place it in the sulcus. By magnetic attraction, they are able to attract the metal instrument which is present within the sulcus, and it is easily taken out. So that is why Schwartz periotrevers are primarily used to remove broken periodontal instruments that are broken within the sulcus or in the periodontal pocket, and it is easy to retrieve them because of their property of magnetic physics. Okay.